session which is related to rotating equipments that are used in process plants. Whenever we work on variety of projects related to process plant, we always come across a particular discipline which is taking care about the rotary equipments that will be required in the plant. So we will see today what is the role of this rotating equipment group and what are the most common rotating equipments that are there in process industry. First one is turbine. Then we go with pumps. Pumps are very common in process industry. Without pump, any plant cannot function. Then we have what is called as compressors. So compressors can be air compressor or gas compressor. So now we will see what are different types of these rotating equipments in detail. First category of the rotating equipments which the rotary equipment engineer has to take care is pump and compressor. So basically function wise pumps and compressor are identical in terms of construction. Only the difference is that pump is used for pumping liquids from lower pressure to higher pressure, whereas compressors are used for pumping air and gases from lower pressure to higher pressure. The purpose of both is to transform mechanical energy, which is generally in form of rotary motion, into hydraulic energy. Okay, so that hydraulic energy can be equated as fluid pressure plus velocity of flow. Moving forward, the second part what we see is the agitators. Agitators are basically kind of impellers or fans which are into the reactors, which are fitted inside the reactor. The basic purpose of this agitator is mixing of two or different two, three or maybe multiple fluids which are held together at a given pressure and temperature. Okay, this kind of agitators are very common in chemical plants and especially in oil blending. Majority of the plant consists of reactors which agitators. Okay, then again moving forward, then the final one is the turbines. So turbines basically are devices which transforms the heat energy which is provided either through the steam or through the hot gases out of combustion. The heat energy is basically transformed into the heat and hydraulic energy, because there are water turbines also. Heat or hydraulic energy is transformed into mechanical energy, which is the output in form of a rotary motion. That rotary motion of the turbine shaft is coupled to the generator, and that's how we get power in majority of the plants. Because if we see, majority of the plants are in some outskirts of city where regular power may or may not be available. So these four categories of rotary equipments are very common in majority of the plant engineering or the process industry. Agitators, then the second category is pumps, compressor, and the third category is the turbine. So now we will see the classification of pumps and compressors, how we classify them. Of course, we will make a separate video specially for different to understand the working and application where we have to use a particular pump or compressor. that we will have a separate training session, training video. So we request you now to watch that video without fail. In the coming sessions we are going to take care of this. So first we will see that whatever are the pumps and compressor, technically if we see both are same, only the difference is the medium of pumping. For pump it is liquid, for compressor it is gases and vapors. To categorize broadly for both for pumps and compressor, we can have positive displacement pump or positive displacement compressor. It is one and the same. In case of compressors, it is called as pressure type compressor, which is a positive displacement compressor. Because if you close or if you plug the discharge of a positive displacement pump or compressor, the pressure starts building up, and if that pressure is not released, then there can be a failure. So because there is nothing to sleep out. Whereas in case of non-positive displacement, which are also called as velocity type compressors, and in case of pumps it is called non-positive displacement pump. If you close the discharge of non-positive displacement pump, then the fluid keeps on churning inside the pump housing. This is because there is no proper sealing, there is no proper pumping we can say elements. Like in case of positive displacement compressor, we have piston and cylinder, so they are metering out a definite amount of fluid per stroke. But in case of non-positive displacement, it is not so. The best example of non-positive displacement we can say compressor is a ceiling fan or table fan. So if you close the outlet, if suppose that fan is inside some housing, and if you close that, nothing is going to happen. So that's the basic, that's the very best example of a non-positive displacement compressor. So they are also called non-positive displacement pump, and in case of compressor it is also called as velocity type compressor. Okay, so positive displacement pump, the discharge is comparatively lesser, but you will get a good pressure. That means if there is a back pressure, the pump is capable to push that discharge. Discharge, even if there is a back pressure, it can work. But in case of non-positive displacement pump, they are not suitable for pressure, working on pressures. However, they are suitable where a good volumetric efficiency is required, good volume of pumping is required. That time we prefer non-positive displacement. So in a broad category, in a nutshell, we can say that positive displacement pumps and compressor are suitable where you require a pressure requirement. In case of some hydraulic machinery like hydraulic pumps, hydraulic press or hydraulic jack, where pressure component is required. Okay, so in that case we can go with the positive displacement pump or a compressor. Whereas in case of volumetric efficiency, where some tank is situated at say 100 feet high and we have to just fill up the tank, so in that case the per liters per minute of the volume that is pumped is very important. Okay, so in that case we prefer the non-positive displacement pump, or maybe in compressor if gases have to be pumped. Okay, and in positive displacement pump, whatever construction wise the types are there, the same are available for compressor also, only the difference is for the medium to be pumped. For pump, once again I am repeating, for pumps the medium is liquid, for compressor the medium is gases and vapors. So let's okay, so now Now we will see the reactors with agitators in process industry. So here there is a video. This is a vessel, complete vessel, which is packed airtight, and on the top of the vessel we can see that there is a gearbox, motor, and some arrangement is fitted. Okay, these are the inspection nozzles which you can see, and inside that we can see that there is a impeller and a shaft arrangement. Okay, so the best example of agitator at your home is a mixer grinder. So the same way, but mixer grinder is used for some semi-solids, whereas in case of reactors in process industry, normally it is used for two or three different liquids. Okay, so to mix them, to hold them at certain pressure and temperature, and then that agitator motion, rotary motion, by means of that those liquids are made miscible, and then the total finished product is then pumped out, and this is how the reactor and agitator works in process industry. So this was the summary of today's session. Different rotating equipments that are used in process industry are pumps and compressors, one category. Second category, agitators fitted inside the reactors. Third category are the turbines. Inside the turbine we have mostly we have gas turbine or steam turbine. Water turbines are never used in process industry. Water turbines are specially suitable in power generation, hydroelectric power generation. So that is outside the scope of this topic. So these are the three different important categories which we have seen today. That was the summary. So in coming sessions, we request you to watch the of a rotating equipment engineer, what are the different activities which are carried out by rotating equipment engineer, and that we will see in coming sessions. Also request you to contact us if we provide training for this kind of sessions. These small training sessions are important. If you watch this regularly, you can learn so many things. So we request you to share these videos with your friends and colleagues, and also don't forget to like, subscribe and comment in our YouTube channel. So thank you for watching these videos. Thank you once again.